Hey guys, it's Max. I'm really excited to finally bring you guys a first look at the GH5. I just got it in the mail and we're going to be doing a first look review. And we're going to be testing this out. We're going to first start off here in the office, then we're going to go out and shoot and show you guys some different tests and some different footage that you guys could check out, along with, of course, our opinion. Now I gotta give a huge shout out to Image One Camera and Video in Riverside, California. I wasn't actually supposed to get the GH5 in until Tuesday or Wednesday next week is what my shipping confirmation said, because it was just gonna ship out later. So Image One hooked me up, and the owner, Shadi, he actually went out and took my order and went straight to FedEx and overnight shipped it for me so I can get it in today and do this video for you guys. So thank you so much to him and to his company. I'll have a link in the video description where you guys could go there, and I know they have a lot of these in stock. So if you're interested in getting one right now without having to wait for back orders or anything else, definitely visit the website or give them a call. Now, he also hooked me up with these brand new cinema cards. This is the new V90s, and this is probably what you're going to need for that new high bitrate 400 megabit per second all-eye codec that is going to come out with a firmware update for this camera. So this is a very fast card, 250 megabytes per second write, guaranteed. So very nice. We're going to be using this today. So I'm excited to open this thing up. Wow. Pretty nice. It fits the hand really well. My thumb fits on the autofocus switch right away. The lock here. We have an ISO button, a dedicated ISO and white balance button. Custom buttons. Forgot what a GH4 feels like. So of course this is similar body. They updated it slightly. Has, I think, better weather sealing and protection with better ports. And it's very nice to have an actual side SD port that you don't have to mess with opening the battery compartment. And of course we have two SD card slots. Even the lens cap is nice. Double layer plastic here. All right. Well, the battery is only at 1 bar. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to get this thing on a charger. But we are right away, we're seeing the dual image stabilization right there. So it says dual 2 on the logo. So we know that this lens is using all its stabilization capabilities, and then also the brand new IBIS system here as well. So it should be very nice and smooth. We're at 120 equivalent right now, and it's not like a tripod. My hands are a little bit shaky because I'm so excited, but it definitely is nice and stabilized for just hand holding this camera. So next I want to check out the viewfinder because it's upgraded, it's larger, and definitely you could tell it is very large. I don't know if this is at the same level as the high-end DSLRs. I would say maybe even slightly larger. Very nice, bright, and very sharp as well. So all the way at the top, we have our microphone input. Then below that, we have headphone output. And then, first time in a hybrid stills and video camera, we have a full-size HDMI output, which is very nice, along with a USB 3.0 Type-C port, which is the future. So very cool that they included this. On the other side, we have a remote port. And then, of course, we have 2 card slots, which is very nice. And unlike some of the competition where there's 2 slots, but you can only use one for video, both of these are usable for video. So you can either record to one card and then when it's full, go to the other, or you can have it do a backup recording. So if you have a card failure, you don't have to worry because you have 2 copies. And then the third option is to have video to one card and then images to the other. So now we took a look at this, let's go out and actually do some shooting. So we're here in downtown Spokane where we have the Red Wagon and the famous clock tower. Now most of the Riverfront Park is shut down except for a small section here, and luckily we have some really nice weather. It's been raining like crazy the last couple weeks, and the day the GH5 comes out we have this nice, fairly sunny, partially cloudy weather. Now the very first thing we noticed before we even started shooting this is how nice the rear LCD screen is. It's very bright, very sharp, while my assistant shooting on the A6500 is really having a hard time seeing what's in focus and what the exposure is. So definitely step up. So we've talked a lot about this camera so far. We're gonna put it into the 4K 60 FPS mode, which is what most people are really excited about, and show you guys some footage. So the next thing we're going to take a look at and test is the detail in the image using both 1080p, 4K at 8-bit, as well as 4K 10-bit and 4K 8-bit 60 FPS. Now, believe it or not, the 150 megabit per second 10-bit 4K files actually are more compressed than 8-bit at 100 because there's a lot more information in those 10-bit files. So you'll see for yourself the quality difference between these different options. Now, to go along with our 60p footage, I'm going to toss the GH5 onto our crane gimbal, which I've been using for maybe 7-8 months now, and I absolutely love. It's very handy to have, and we'll see how it handles the GH5 and see what kind of shots we can get. I had to offset the GH5 to this left section here in order for the actual grip to clear the motor right here, but I don't have enough adjustment on this axis, and it's slightly too heavy on the left-hand side. So we'll see if the crane gimbal can offset for this. So it looks like the crane gimbal could adjust for it. I think if you don't have a plate like I do right here, a quick connect, it's not going to have additional weight on the left-hand side, so you will have enough adjustment. But it looks like it's handling it pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and get some shots before this dark cloud comes in and messes up our day. So we're gonna be doing a quick video autofocus test, and the wind's kicking in, it's starting to rain and storm. The camera is weather sealed, but unfortunately we are not. So we're gonna have to wrap this up, this shoot. And we also have a flashing battery here, but you guys just saw a clip of video autofocusing on a gimbal. So we'll see how it works with this new lens, which is the newest lens, should work the best. And we'll also test out the older 12-35, along with a 45 1.8 Olympus 45mm. Go ahead.
There's like water on the lens too. I hope it's not messing it up.
Yes. No, don't do it, Jesus. So, it's pouring. Yeah. And we gotta get out of here. We're gonna take this inside. So we made it back into the car. I'm soaked, the camera's soaked, but good thing this thing is weather sealed. Same with this lens, so it doesn't really matter. but a lot of our Sony stuff is not, at least nowhere near as good as this setup is here. So the battery started flashing. It was only about 1 bar when we got it. We did plug it in for a little bit. And what I wanted to do is plug in a power bank and charge the camera up like I do with my Sony cameras and my previous Samsung cameras. But let's get this wiped off. It wouldn't let me do that. So it doesn't support charging, which is really unfortunate. So as soon as you turn it on and you plug in a power bank, it will ask you if you want to connect to your PC or a picture bridge, and that's about it. So it really would have been nice, especially if you're doing time lapses, just to plug it in, or when you're on the road, to be able to do this, or at least extend your shooting. Luckily, the GH4 and the GH5 has, you know, class-leading battery life, so it's not going to be a huge issue. But that is something to know if you wanted to use a battery bank. So we're back inside. We're starting to dry off ourselves. I'm going to wipe down the lens here with a bunch of rain. One thing I wanted to note is I really like the lens hood that they designed on here. It actually has a little locking button, and it feels very solid. Maybe it's partially metal, at least the sleeve here. So that's very nice, because a lot of times lens hoods, after using for a while, the little lock wears out and they come off very easily. So that's very nice. So we're going to start out testing the autofocus with face tracking on the 12 to 60 Leica lens. Then I'll throw on my 12 to 32, the original version. I do have the version 2 coming in that will compare them side by side in a future video, and also the 45 1.8. So let's see how they perform. So here's our second test with the sensitivity and speed turned all the way up. We'll see if this helps. So that's a little bit faster, but still slow. And as you can see, it's showing where his face and eye is, but it is not adjusting the focus. He's still out of focus, and we do have it in continuous here. We have it continuous. There you go. You moved forward a little bit and it grabbed on, but it wasn't grabbing on before. So everything's set, and this is the most sensitive and the best speed. So go ahead and walk backwards now. So you're still going out of focus. And we do have it at, there you go, just caught on, so better than last time. Go ahead and come forward. We do have it at 120mm full frame equivalent and f4, so it shouldn't be too hard since it's at f4, which is about f8 on a full frame. So there you go, it did lock on, but it didn't keep you up in focus. Let's try that again. So go backwards. Okay, it was out of focus and then caught up about halfway through. Now it's in focus, and come forward again. So this is a really new Leica lens with a dual IS. You'd expect it to work really well. So you're still out of focus at this point. There you go, and yep, it caught on. Now it went back out of focus and in. Not very good. We're gonna go ahead and throw on the 12 to 35 and see how that compares. All right, and the last thing we're going to test here is going to be a low light test. This is a huge downside of the GH4, why a lot of people switched from it. So we'll see how this compares, and we'll go through the ISOs at the 8-bit setting and also the 10-bit setting with our 12 to 35 at 2.8. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up our first look of the GH5. Unfortunately, we kind of got rained out. We wanted to go to another location and shoot some more footage, but we're going to have a lot of time with this camera. It's not a loaner. I bought it myself, and it may turn into our main YouTube studio camera if it's good enough, and if it's really good, it might even replace our Sonys for wedding shooting. So we're going to see. We're going to have a lot of comparisons. We're going to compare it to the A6500 and the A7S II. So definitely hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out. And also compare it to the Ursa Mini Pro that just came out as well. Since both cameras do shoot 10-bit and they shoot 4K 60, it's going to be interesting comparison. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments section below about the footage that you saw, the different tests that you saw. I definitely want to hear you guys' opinions. Make sure you guys hit that sub button and enable those notifications so you guys don't miss out on future videos. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.